Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Thursday night, which means tonight is regularly scheduled Hostilities. That's right. It is Thursday night, which means tonight is regularly scheduled Hostilities with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne DeBoard, and with your host and current RSH champion, Josh DeBoard. What's going on, y'all?
Good. Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm living the dream, guys. And just so you're all aware, tonight's support for regularly scheduled Hostilities is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Cover your ears.
It's bad. It's bad stuff. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And with Christmas coming up, I see no better gifts than the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. What do you guys think?
Look at it.
Dude,
I got one.
Have you used it yet?
I've used it twice.
Have you used it on all of your jewels?
I have not.
Oh, I have.
I'm waiting for Christmas. I got to find the special woman, unwrap that.
I knew he'd say something like that. I knew that.
Well, it comes with the flashlight, so you can see what you're doing.
Oh yeah. It has to be dark.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Gosh.
It's waterproof.
For her safety.
It's waterproof, so you can do it in the water in the dark, which is just a neat little feature. You know, ho, ho, ho for her, right? And for all of you awesome RSH viewers right now, you can go to manscaped.com, type in promo code RSH2020, and get 20% off plus free shipping. And this is definitely make your testes their besties. So check it out.
All right. And you know, you've heard enough about us. Hear it from Manscaped yourself. Check out this commercial from our buddies over at Manscaped.
All right, huge week of wrestling. So let's just get right into it.
It is. You got your love back.
I'm not going to go quite with love yet. I still fast forwarded some stuff here and there, but I've definitely enjoyed it more than I have in the past.
What's up, Tyler?
What's up, Tyler?
And this is also one of my favorite shows as well.
Let's keep that show coming. I like this show better than Raw, SmackDown, Mainline, Stand Your Ground, Stand Their Ground, in your pucks. It doesn't matter what show it is. This is the best show ever.
Where's the belt?
Oh, it's on his.
We'll get this out of the way. So, due to the old RSH Wednesday Night Champion being put in jail for gambling debt that he didn't pay, we had to result in vacating the championship, which I'm not eligible, but Chuck, Yvonne, and Tyson Kidd went head-to-head, and Yvonne went undefeated.
You beat Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd went 3-3.
I did.
You beat Tyson Kidd. He lost one.
I called everything right, even the other predictions I made
from
right.
One former champ to another.
So Yvonne is now the and at the Royal Rumble, Armchair Wrestling, Alex Benison and Yvonne will go 1-on-1 for that championship, and I will finally be defending mine after months of people being scared.
That's the key word, finally.
Chuck stepping up.
Have you defended it yet at all?
Yeah.
No.
And then I cashed in.
I was going to be odds,
we won't live in the past
it,
of that.
So you're going to be like a Sasha Banks, and you're going to be a you have it, but you can't defend it. Kind of.
Sasha Banks. I love that.
Listen, bro, we're in a pandemic.
I can't wait to see you guys.
Pandemic ruined my title defenses. But
it was a weird time.
Royal Rumble set.
Yep.
So that's where we're at with our championships. It's nice to have a championship on a person that is not in prison.
I hope not to get that.
But anyway, let's segue to a guy that I wish was in prison. Bill Goldberg called out Roman Reigns on the bump the other day. So reports are that you can read a beautiful article about it from our boy Tyler Peters. Tyler, I love it, but it's my least favorite article you've ever written because I don't want to see this guy back in the WWE ring.
Because of the subject, not the writer.
So
right, exactly.
Chuck, Do you want to see Roman
fuck
Reigns
no.
versus Goldberg? Because it's going to be booked as the match that Roman bitched out of last year.
Yeah, he left you. Listen, we've all seen Educate Laughs Wreck on.
We got you. You're at the right place.
All right, I'm not sure who Laughs Wreck is.
That's right. It's one of our
We'll
podcasts.
educate you.
Those guys. Laughs and Wreck.
All right.
Well,
Laughs and Wreck, you're about to be educated right now because we have seen Bill Goldberg in prison. He was in prison in the longest charge. He was in prison against Stone Cold Steve Austin, Nelly, and a few other guys. The Great Khali. They all did the prison thing together. But no, seriously though. And then he was like, "You stole my move." Bill Goldberg, everybody that weighs 230 does the fucking spear. Everybody. It's not your move. And your move is the jackhammer, which also sucks.
And he can't do it.
It's one of you. Yeah, you can't even do it to fucking Bray Wyatt, who's not that big of a guy compared to other guys you have fucking fought. So shut up, Bill Goldberg, and go make motorcycles and be on Punked or whatever because you suck as a wrestler. You can do 3 moves. And I'm not even, no, he's not even a wrestler. I'm not even going to use the word wrestler on you. Even in Bill Goldberg's prime, he wasn't a wrestler. He was a guy who did 3 moves. Oh, I had the undefeated streak. Yeah, against guys who weighed 100 pounds to your fucking all of the weight, and they were all jobbers, and you broke Bret Hart's neck. How ridiculous is that? So no, nobody wants to see Bill Goldberg back at a WWE ring. All I hope is that his son does not get in the ring and take a shirt off. As long as his son's shirt stays on, it'll be a better run than last time.
I hope so too. They keep their shirts on. We don't want to. As a woman, I don't want to see that.
And that's no offense to the son, but seriously,
it is.
Nobody should be taking their shirt off.
From my side of the table, it's offensive. Put your fucking, what do you think? When you're a grown man, take your shirt off, you little fucker. Put your shirt back on.
And to Bill Goldberg's point, well, you don't make fun of my kid, keep your kid off TV. If your kid's going to be on TV, keep the shirt on, because that's what's going to happen.
I'm not scared of Bill Goldberg.
And this feud is
going to tell his kid to do what I want.
And this feud is going to be stupid. Well, I say feud with these quotation marks because one is going to be boring as fuck because after 2 minutes, this little rant of mine is longer than what Bill Goldberg can do in the ring.
So the Bill, Yvonne, how excited are you for this? Because I'm going to go last because I'm going to rant.
Not thrilled about it.
We're sorry, Tyler.
Nobody likes Bill Goldberg.
No,
Do you remember?
sorry,
You remember liking Bill Goldberg on
John
WCW versus Nitro?
Thanks for tuning in. I think it's your first time in the comments. At least appreciate you tuning in.
All
right, Yvonne, go.
Not a fan of Goldberg. I do not want to see this. Goldberg needs to stay away. When I was reading it on Facebook, this post about even this match, I'm like, seriously? No, all caps. I'm like, no. The word is no.
It's going to be boring as fuck, dude.
It
is
is.
Super boring.
All right. You know whose fault this is? It's AEW's fault. This is
not AEW's fault.
Let me talk, damn it. You know why? Who just came back?
Sting.
So what does Vince think he has to do?
That's still Vince's fault.
No, that's AEW's fault.
Maybe Vince should be original.
If Sting is not in AEW, this isn't being rumored right now because Goldberg wasn't supposed to be back until Saudi of next year.
So
Saudi.
AEW just shouldn't do things they think could help their brand?
Yes.
No.
Is it helping their brand?
This is Vince McMahon's fault.
That's a whole different
issue. His inability to be creative and his inability to use new people. And Sting is way better than Bill Goldberg because at least Sting wants to hang out with the wrestlers.
Breaking news. Me and Gary agree on the first thing we've ever agreed on. He said Goldberg wasn't good when he was good.
Facts.
He
never wrestled.
But I do blame AEW because this is a fucking... the Goldberg thing ends up working in their favor every fucking time because he comes out with new merch.
People watch.
And people get nostalgic. Like, go like Phil. Our boy Phillips over. Goldberg rips off his shirt. Who's next? Nobody, because nobody cares. And he has a heart attack. 20 foot. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not into it. But this is apparently plan B. Plan A still The Rock, so let's pray to God that goes through.
It ain't going to happen with The Rock. If there's no audience, The Rock ain't going to be
there. But this is a sad way to build this up. There's there's rumors that it could be Big E. This is not concrete.
Sure.
But they did do it on the bump, which is WWE programming.
They're using it to get some buzz on the WWE.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
At WTB.com. But yeah, I'm over it.
That's a joke, man. And he stole my. That's what I tell you. He stole my move. Really? The fucking.
He said he did a half-ass spear. It's like, when have you seen Roman Reigns do a half-ass spear?
Exactly.
I've seen Bill Goldberg.
See Goldberg spear the Fiend?
I've seen Bill Goldberg almost break the Undertaker's fucking neck. That's what I've seen.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia where careers die.
And terrorists and stuff. Like, I just don't understand.
What's up, Joe? Terrorists and stuff. Joe's like, sup?
What's up, Joe?
I like them terrorists.
Yeah, speaking of working fans, so due to Christmas Eve, we're going to collab with them on the 23rd.
Oh, shit.
They're going to share their time slot with us.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Working fans. Be the regularly scheduled Working Fans podcast. I dig it.
Something like that. Still playing our intro. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Only way it would be cool is, if Roman just beats his ass, I'm down. Like, I'll deal with it. It'll be better. Hey, there's the Phoenix.
Hey, what's up, Spaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was reading that wrong. My bad. Hey, what's up? Thanks for
What's
tuning in.
up, whoever that is?
It has to be a squash. What if Goldberg goes over?
Dude, that won't happen.
Are they that stupid?
No, that won't happen.
They would-
As
They're
low as
stupid.
your
They're
opinion
stupid.
is,
Yeah.
as low as your guys' opinion is of Vince McMahon, you guys think he would actually put Goldberg over Roman
He was
after
for-
all this
heck
build?
It's going to be a recreation of what WrestleMania was supposed to be last year. So it's going to be and that was obviously Reigns winning because fucking Braun Strowman won. So
We're gonna have
so,
Roman beat Goldberg.
yeah, Reigns is winning.
Exactly.
And it has to be a squash, or actually it'll be a lot of stare downs and then a squash.
Yeah.
So,
That's
I mean, it's going to be like very similar to the Lesnar match, I imagine.
All right, so you guys aren't aware of this one. This just broke 7 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, and I saw it, so like 12 minutes ago. I'm excited for this. So bad news in WrestleMania to good.
Uh-oh. Breaking
Rumored
news.
main event. Drew McIntyre is scheduled to defend against Brock Lesnar
geez.
and Keith Lee.
Oh.
And Keith Lee reportedly is in line for a huge push. If you guys watch the documentary on the WWE Network about Keith Lee, Vince grabs him and he goes, dude, you're good. You can do flips. You're a good promo. He's like, I love what I got here. Just
sure.
make me believe.
Right.
Apparently Vince is believing. So
He's a believer.
this is big for Keith Lee.
That is big.
I think Keith Lee goes over as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
So
Me too.
what's your thoughts on this? Because this made me feel the opposite of how I felt about Roman Reigns and Goldberg.
I generally am not a fan of triple threat matches main eventing WrestleMania. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just not the best. Yeah, I saw that. Did you play that?
Yeah.
Goldberg
Sammy.
versus Sami
Sammy.
Zayn.
Sammy better squash him.
Come on, Sammy.
Dude, Sammy is
I
way
love
more
Sami
believable than
I
fucking
do,
Goldberg.
too.
And you know what Sammy's
Yeah.
kids don't do? Take their fucking shirts off. So,
That is
well, yeah, like I'm notoriously not a fan of triple threat main event matches at WrestleMania. They just always basically just one guy's knocked out with their two fight, but it could be awesome to help make Keith Lee more believable and make Lesnar not take the pin. That's probably what they want to avoid because he got pinned last year or retreat when you know what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be all right with that. If Keith Lee won and gave Reigns the pin, that'd be fucking phenomenal. Or if Keith Lee pinned Lesnar to still make Reigns look believable.
You mean McIntyre?
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Okay.
same thing. That'd be awesome. I'll be all about that life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that shit.
Keith Lee going over, two good WWE champions. I can't stand Lesnar, but I have to be respectful. He was.
You don't have to be respectful. Don't be like Tyler Peters.
Dude,
This is
how many eyes would Lesnar though bring? That's what WWE's going for.
Yeah.
Goldberg, Brock,
Yeah,
Drew,
I mean, this the
Roman, the
the-
Fiend mixed in with some kind of Edge and Orton. I think that's working down another.
the rabbit hole.
I think it's leading toward a Firefly Funhouse between all three of them.
Something.
Yeah,
I think that's where they're going to go with it because Bray can go back in Edge's past, he can go back in Orton's past, and just mind fuck to both of them. It'd be great. It'd be a nice twist.
Because even with Edge, the Brood and shit, like going
Yeah, go back like you
Yeah.
used to be like me, Edge.
Right.
Yeah.
Be
But
awesome.
now you're a sellout or whatever. Bray can make
Fuck that.
anything work.
Now you got a broken freaking neck.
I'm down for this.
Yep.
Keith don't even have to go over
No, that's
for me to be down. He's going to get the rub, as people say.
As we in the biz say.
Yeah, the rub. So sometimes the rub is better than actually going over. Like Raquel Gonzalez when she fought Ripley, she didn't win, but now look at her. She's she won Wargames. She pinned Io Shirai, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Exactly.
But the rub, I'm good with it.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I like Keith Lee a lot. I hope
We already went through this one.
I hope he
Sorry.
changes his speech pattern a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of his promos.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
His
think
promos
Vince.
ain't the
I don't
best.
think Vince is either
Yeah.
because he said good promo. And Bully, I was listening to Busted Open. And Bully Ray's like, you know what Vince means when he says good promo? He means get better at promos.
Well,
So,
we
and
know-
he has actually got that was filmed about 2 months ago when he debuted.
Yeah.
So he's gotten better.
And I've noticed too, like instead of him talking in the ring, he's been doing backstage talking,
Yeah.
which is better.
And they're integrating him in meaningful things, like he's talking to Sheamus. So like
Right.
that can, that puts him in that storyline a little bit.
Absolutely.
So like, we'll get to it. Let's go to NXT. We all watched the show Sunday.
Mhm.
Yvonne won a championship because of it.
The Wednesday Night Champion
Undefeated.
right here.
Yep.
That's your first time, too.
Mhm.
I love this
Undefeated.
match.
Yep,
This isn't a
undefeated.
match that you can go to AEW and find. This isn't a match you can go to Raw or SmackDown and find. This is just a punch you in the mouth, physical kind of old school match.
dude.
AEW, there's kicks and flips and shit.
Ciampa, well, so NXT too.
Well-
Don't get carried away.
But NXT
don't get carried away.
What show did this match happen on though?
No, Ciampa's a badass. Ciampa honestly reminds me of
Like
like
Ciampa, not the most underrated wrestler probably
he reminds me
in
a lot.
WWE.
He reminds me a lot of like how Triple H used to be, and like Triple H's heyday with like the brutality of his
Mhm.
fucking style. Like he just beat the shit out of you.
Dude, how cool is his entrance music?
That's cool.
And his mask, like he just comes out and he looks nuts. No one will
Yeah.
survive. He looks like
Ciampa's
he looks
awesome.
like one of those scarecrows, but like one that's alive.
And
Like
he
not
looks-
Jeepers Creepers, like actually a cool looking guy.
Actually, he looks like a guy like he would be huge, but really he's kind of tiny.
He's a little buff guy.
Yeah.
He
He's like
is.
210 with like an 8-pack. And he's
Yeah.
like, fuck with me. And he's got
So,
pretty big arms.
If you just look at him on camera, like that guy's fucking huge, but you see him standing next to a regular 5'8" guy, he's like, that's all right. He's not that big. But yeah, man, like that was a brutal match. I knew it would be. I liked that match a lot. I'm a big fan of Ciampa.
I am
And
too.
we saw last on NXT. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
Ciampa fought Cameron Grimes, which we'll get to actually next. Ciampa, he came out. Thatcher comes out, watches him fight, just like Ciampa did last week. Ciampa won. They stared down and they went to the back. And then we'll see. I think we're not done. I think it'd be cool if somehow these guys end up, because you see the stare down at the end of the match, right?
Absolutely.
I'd love to see these guys team up or something.
Yeah.
It's I feel like that could work. Like they hate each other so much, they just want to beat up each other and one up each other. So it leads to them, hey, one day they're fighting backstage. Regal's like, enough. You guys are teaming up to fight Imperium. And then they beat Imperium's ass.
Similar to like Sheamus and
Yeah,
Cesaro.
because you can make that work as
You
long as
could.
you make it fit the story.
Absolutely.
You'll just toss them together
Right.
like they have before.
Absolutely. I agree with that. It'd be fun.
All right, Yvonne, what did
Yeah.
you think? You're typically not into these kind of matches. You're more into the not theatrical,
Well-
but you like the kicks and flips and shit.
I guess I do.
On a boat and
I've always been a fan of Ciampa. I'm not really a fan of Timothy Thatcher. I can't say his name. Yeah, him. The other guy. It was a good match. Other than that, I mean, Thatcher. I mean, he is impressive to me, but still not a fan. I would like to see both of them team up. I mean, I think something down the line may happen like that with them. Since, like you said, since we're seeing the stare downs and there's more to come with that. It ain't over though.
yep, it's always fun to watch. I just like watching Ciampa beat the fuck out of people.
Phoenix, I
Okay.
see your comment, but you have to hold on. We have to get. We're going to get to that. That's
Don't
a-
jump the gun there,
that's
brother.
A question. That's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis. X-Pac was on
Six-pack.
Twitter and said
Oh,
this
shit.
was the best strap match he's ever seen in his life.
Oh yeah.
It was really good. I'm a huge Dexter Loomis guy. I have been for a long time. I know he's creeps you out, but you're kind of sold on him. And Yvonne, I know he just
He creeps me out.
yeah, he just creeps you
The
out.
only thing
He
that
does.
creeps me out about Dexter Loomis is his fucking pedophile mustache. If he would just shave that off or grow a beard around it,
Manscape.
yeah.
He's
We got
creepy.
something for you,
He's
Dexter.
creepy overall.
Promo code
glad you
RSH
mentioned the
2020. We got
mustache.
you. Just don't look me in the eyes, please.
It's got a flashlight.
He's
Yeah,
just-
and when you're trapped in the dark, well, you inevitably
He's
prepare
hard to
in the
look
dark.
at in the eyes though. As a woman, it's really hard for me to look him in the eyes. He creeps me out. Oof.
Yeah, he has that. He definitely has like the intense.
Mhm.
I'm gonna rape you in the shower eyeballs,
It's one of those
Oh.
like creepy movies you
But-
watch on TV.
but in a good way. You know, like it's not.
I want to rape you in the shower in a good way.
Yes.
Wow.
That's like, but it's not like I'm afraid of you. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch you fucking beat somebody. You know what I mean? And that's what he did against Cameron
He
Grimes.
did.
It was a good strap match. He
Mhm.
beat the shit out of him. It was awesome.
I'm glad he beat Cameron Grimes. I can't stand that guy. Cameron
Dude, he's
Grimes.
so good. He's so entertaining.
He's so
He
annoying.
can sell.
Yeah,
he
that's
can
the
talk.
idea.
He gets heat. He can. I'm just waiting to see what big thing they eventually put him in. Because
Yeah.
with Gargano holding the North American title right now, he's not going to go
Mhm.
there.
Nope.
He's kind of like an annoying. He honestly reminds me a little bit of like a sillier version of Elias. Like he's really good at getting under your skin and just saying.
So he reminds me of Sami Zayn.
I could maybe
Yeah.
like a combination.
Like
of
if
the
him
two.
and Sami
Yeah.
Zayn
Yeah.
teamed up, I feel like they'd be perfect.
I could see that too. Absolutely.
Good
Cameron
match.
Grimes
Very
is
good
so
match.
good.
Don't know if it was the best
Gosh.
ever. I leaned toward The Fiend and Daniel Bryan earlier this year. Is my favorite strap match I've ever
Ever?
seen.
I really
Ever.
liked the one that The Rock was in with, I think, Mick Foley or Triple H. Might have been Triple H.
Yeah,
I think they called that a cowbell match, though.
Oh no, we're coming to the end of the year.
Yep.
that strap match is still, we do match of the year, dude. It's still high up there. Bray
That's
and
fair.
Bryan beat the shit out of each other.
I have to
They did.
rewatch it. I don't still remember. I have to rewatch it.
I think that was Chamber or something.
Was it?
Something like that.
All right.
This is a good match. Ghostface was Austin Theory, which
Yep.
we
It
knew.
was me, Austin. Did you hear me on that shit?
It was me.
Good match. Leon Ruff looks solid. I mean, they got a nice sentimental baby face here.
I have a hard time not saying Leon Rush when I say
Yeah.
it.
I know, me too. Yeah,
I
do
think
too.
that's the point. I think that's the point.
Yeah.
But Gargano won again, which was happy to see it. Gargano's so annoying. Like, he's just perfect at what he does. And Damian Priest is a fucking monster.
He is, absolutely.
He's outgrown this, which when we get to NXT from this week, we'll elaborate on why we were correct about that. We said that 2 months ago when he won the North American title. But very good match for a triple threat. I don't like the fact that so much shit, like I don't like the fact they're no DQ. Like, so much shit gets so much interference. Like, I don't know when or why they changed the triple threat rules, but they didn't used to be that way.
Oh, they actually, honestly, they were. It's just back in the day they didn't.
Like,
really
why
do
if
it.
Johnny Gargano hits him with a chair, they can't just
Well,
get rid of Gargano
Let's
and just
get
have the
one-
other
get
two
one
fight?
out. Yeah, I mean,
Because it's the biggest cop out ever. 'Cause you're always going to have interference.
it is one of those
You are.
things. I
Like
remember,
a triple threat with weapons, that's cool. You have three guys beating up each other, but it seems like they're, like I bitched about last week, there's always somebody. There's like 12 interferences in 1 week of WWE programming. That is a lot.
That's all.
I know back in the day, the triple threats were also no DQ. They just didn't really talk about it, and only when it like made sense to bring it up would they say it. But now they really focus on it, and it does get. I agree,
No rules.
especially with
We know.
NXT and AEW. Both of these brands seem to have the same issue where it's constant interference. It's the same stuff over and over again. And with NXT, it's a good point that all these wrestlers are trained by the same guys. They all do the same thing, so everything looks kind of the same. While with Raw and SmackDown, that's not necessarily the case. So that's one thing that it doesn't annoy me with NXT it's just all the same styles and the same formulas to each match, and that includes fucking interference after interference, and now Ghostface apparently.
Well, Ghostfaces are done now. Andy Hartwell was one, and Austin Theory was the other. So Halloween's over. Retired Ghostface till next year.
Did you see all the
Jason
Ghostface that
Voorhees is
attacked
next.
Priest outside the ring?
Jason Voorhees.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of Ghostface that attacked Priest outside the ring in that match. There was a lot of Ghostface beating him up.
Well, to be fair, in the
There was a lot of them.
in 3 of the 4 movies, there's 2 killers, so
Yeah.
it makes sense to have more than
Makes
one
sense.
Ghostface.
When I had COVID, I watched that Scream show finally. But
Spaz Phoenix wants a plug here. Cheap ass plug. They're doing an NXT review tomorrow, so if you want to check them out.
NXT review tomorrow, 7:00, breaking down the AEW tagged,
What AEW tag division?
That's true.
and then the NXT women's division. Now that's a division I can
That's
get behind.
a division.
And
to
Phoenix,
talk
we'll
about.
take that into a segue into the next match we're going to break down, which this is the best division. This is the best women's division in wrestling.
Absolutely.
Impact's is so good though. Impact can go suck it. They're not.
I just want to know.
Like,
I
I'm so
back in a
sick.
decade.
I'm so sick of hearing AEW teamed with Impact and Kenny's going over there, and their women's division is going to join ours, and then our biggest weakness is going to be our biggest strength.
Couldn't care less.
No, Impact.
Yeah.
Talk to me when you're on a cable channel and not on Twitch.
I know.
Hell,
Right?
half the
That's
WWE
true.
roster isn't even allowed to watch your show because they're not allowed on Twitch anymore.
Yeah, they got
So-
kicked the fuck off. The thing with Impact is it might be good, and people keep telling me, "Oh, it's good. You should watch it. You should watch it. You should watch it." It's got a lot better. Listen, if it takes a decade to get a lot better, I don't give a fuck. Because you know what's
You know how it got better?
like,
Kenny.
I mean, and I think Kenny Omega sucks, and they say, and I know Impact said that they got 750,000 more views because of Kenny. I call bullshit. One.
That's probably right. They probably got 9, 10 last week. So, I mean, they probably took a hell of a jump. They're like, oh, somebody we know.
That's fair, I guess. And the fact that it's on Twitch, you watch it for free, I guess.
Yeah.
Will help.
Yeah, nobody's
But-
going to buy Access TV.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I used to, like I said on the show, I think every week now, I used to like TNA back when it was TNA until Hulk Hogan took over, and then it became unwatchable. And I would like kind of check it out here and there. And every time I would check it out here and there, it was just a whole lot of I don't give a fuck. And that continues now. And then even with AEW, I don't like fucking Kenny Omega. Nothing against Kenny Omega. I think the dude sucks. And he's good in the ring, sure. But when he gets on the mic, I want to punch him in the face. And his head is too long for his body.
That got, that got me on AEW. On AEW last night. It's just like, this guy.
Yeah, I can't stand
It's
that
like,
shit.
what are like?
And then
right.
here's what they're going to tell you. Well, he was doing this to put everybody over, so for AEW, he wasn't putting himself over. So that wasn't really Kenny Omega. Okay, I've watched a program for a year, and the guy hasn't changed at all. That's the guy that I'm watching the show for. And the guy sucks. So maybe change Kenny Omega, and maybe I'll come back. But until then, it fucking sucks. And I'm not going to watch Impact Wrestling because that sucked since 2010. And I don't watch AEW all that often because 90% of it is
Not
just
even with
annoying.
Sting?
I'm not a big Sting guy. Do you know when I did watch Sting on TNA Wrestling 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That's when I liked Sting.
That's what a lot of people think Sting was at his best outside of the early WCW days.
Back then, I don't know if you guys remember the match with him and Jeff Hardy. Anyway.
I never watched Impact or TNA.
No, there's a
I
famous...
watched it once when they went head-to-head with WWE, and WWE whipped their ass because they pulled, hey, Brett.
Yeah, that's the night I'm referring to with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. I watched that
Yeah.
because we had two TVs on.
Same.
My dad had one on one channel, and we had another TV on the other, and then Bret Hart, and then that complete shit show. Shout out to the shit show girls.
Yep.
The complete shit show of Impact.
It was definitely half-assed.
Dude, yeah.
it
It was worse than half-assed.
It was rough. We watched both as well. We didn't watch at the same time. We recorded Impact or TNA, and we watched Raw live, and went back and watched TNA, and it was just god awful.
Yeah.
I saw a fat Scott Hall. Ooh, it's like, dude,
As WWE's paying for his
can't.
rehab as he's on TNA.
I can't. I hate the people that lived in the past to that extent. At that extent, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? So no
Too
offense
sweet.
to any of those guys, but it's
He
just,
doesn't even do it right.
No,
Too sweet,
he was
bro.
like sluggish. It's like, this is embarrassing.
He's drunk.
And like, I know. And then and then you have like Hulk Hogan, brother, and then you have Kevin Nash. Hogan's coming. Who doesn't look? He looks bored as fuck.
As he's
Kevin
walking,
Nash,
as he's walking
who tears
slow
his
to the
quadricep
ring.
I
as he
know.
gets out of the bed.
Like when Kevin Nash, he had that tag team title run with Eric Young. He looked so bored. He didn't want to be there.
You know
It's like, what is happening?
You know the coolest thing Kevin Nash ever did?
Break his leg on the first match.
Hey,
on Raw.
my sister just texted me. Kevin Nash.
yeah.
I thought he was dead.
LOL.
LOL. That's the coolest thing was when CM Punk actually got him back over with just one look at his phone.
LOL thought he was dead.
I popped and I was.
And CM Punk also pointed out how slow he walks to the ring.
Yeah, man.
He's like, here he comes with his tube of Just for Men in his hand.
Well, listen, let's get to something.
This is a lot of hate. This episode is a lot of hate.
It is.
Bananas.
B-A-N-A.
Is this the time? Yvonne don't know the joke.
I get it. Yeah, we're
No, I was
good.
just
We'll
thinking
move on.
Chuck knows the joke.
We'll move on
It worked. All right.
for now.
I can't pronounce the one girl's name. Hey, shit show girls. 1 for 1 at work.
Taja.
I'm not even gonna try.
Talicia. Some
Talicia.
shit like that.
Lexus. All right, I don't know.
Some Puerto,
You guys can get
some
yelled
kind
at
of
for
Puerto
saying
Rican
I'll
name.
be
It's fine.
I won't try to say it.
Sarah. I know her. That's an easy name.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah.
Team Lorray won.
Yep.
Good match. I love the trash can spot
That was
where she put Io Shirai put the trash can on her, and like as she jumps, I'm like, my love life, and I just imagine me with the trash can on me knocking over all my ex girlfriends. So I thought that, and I was like,
So
that's
dramatic.
that's a meme. Like you
That's-
see it
that's a
now,
meme.
but that was a great spot. It was very creative,
Yeah.
and I'm glad the girls didn't move, and she just didn't go
I
splat.
was gonna say that. I think it'd been hilarious if they just did move.
It's like,
Right.
boom, and she's like
Let her take
unconscious
the
on the ground.
Just let her take the hit. But,
Then she kicks at it too.
Excited.
All right,
that was cool.
Chuck, what do you think of this match?
It was fun. I liked it quite a bit. It's arguably better than the men's Wargames match. Honestly, it was obviously a little bit slower paced, but I think it told a better story in the ring.
It does, and they're not done. This is telling the story between Shotzi and Candice, Tony and Ember,
Yep.
Ripley and Raquel, Io and Raquel. Dakota Kai unfortunately got injured in this
She
match.
did.
I saw
Candice
that.
LeRae broke her arm.
Yes.
As not, fortunately, it wasn't all the way. It's just like this part of her
Forearm.
arm, so she won't be out as long.
Like Candice
So they're
LeRae.
able to keep her on television, so she can just be Gargano's. She can actually do the whole "I hit you with my cast" kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
So she was on last night, so
Yeah,
it's
she
good.
was.
Cool. So that's cool. I love this match. I don't think it was as good as the men, but it was damn near close. We'll do best matches here in a few minutes, but
Oh, yeah.
very good match. Yvonne, you're the women's expert here. What'd you
Like I
think?
told both of you, my favorite thing about talking about the women's segment is NXT's women's division. They killed it. This is my second War Games women's match I've watched.
And
Loved it.
Candice is 2-0. Her team's
2-0,
won
yeah.
both.
Hell yeah.
I'm a
You
big-
go, girl.
I've been a big fan of Candice LeRae. I'm great to see her, win a huge match like this. Puts her over, which I don't think she's over anymore, but
She needs to get over to the championship
She did
at some point.
big time. She does.
I dig her and Gargano with the belts. You know how arrogant and
The
annoying
power
they would be.
couple, yeah.
They already have the power couple merch all over WWE shop. So
I would like that too, I think.
not like Snoop Dogg where his shit got yanked today for showing up on AEW. Like how you gonna appear on AEW 2 weeks
Yeah.
after they release limited edition Snoop Dogg Undertaker
It's
merch?
like you are you're singing the current women's champions intro music, and you're going to be on AEW.
Right.
Yeah, like you have such a good relationship. Your niece is on WWE
Champion.
Like,
Sasha Banks.
they just released
What a
merch that
coincidence.
nobody understands why you have it. Like, why does the Undertaker need Snoop? Like, is the Undertaker a closet fan of Drop It Like It's Hot?
It
And we
sounds
missed
like
it, which he might.
He likes California girls with Katy Perry and Snoop Dogg. That's what
and to
that's my-
see,
You're not gonna get
and
that
to
hate
see
on that.
Raquel Gonzalez going over, pinning Io Shirai, that was
Do you
huge
think
for her.
She's going to win the championship from her? Because it
I
looks like after
do.
NXT last night,
I do.
Rhea Ripley comes out as Raquel and Tony Storm were beating up Ember Moon, and Raquel ran like a little bitch away from Rhea Ripley.
I like Ripley, but I don't know how many times they're going to keep throwing her in this mix.
She's the most talented
I know
woman
she is,
that they
but
have,
she's
and
a
I'm counting the ones on the main
I know
roster.
she has. To me, I think she's accomplished more. I think she's good in the main roster and let Raquel and I don't know. It's confusing with Ripley because I want her there, but I also want to see her on the main roster.
That's fair.
I honestly hope she
It's, I
stays.
think it's.
I don't want Vince
I think
fucking with
it's
her.
Raquel's time.
Vince will be like, "Oh,
to
you're
take-
too badass. Put on this dress and act like Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Damn it!"
That's
It's
the
like,
thing,
nope.
man. With a lot of these
like a lady. That's what she says.
with a lot of these NXT people, it's like sometimes like I don't want to see them fucked with. This
No,
is
I
even
want to.
more-
Like, there's people like Elias who never got used in NXT, even though I feel like he's still underutilized on the main roster.
He is. Yeah.
He's better than he was. But then you see, and Corbin as well. Corbin was way underutilized
King
in NXT, and now he's, we'll get to him with the Chuck's favorite tag team. Even though he forgets about him, the Forgotten Sons are back. But
Who?
I
I forgot about those guys.
good match. No,
Mhm.
I really have not much to add. I want to talk about this one though. Pat McAfee was absolutely amazing. I think he was the star of the whole.
He
No,
was.
I don't. Pete Dunne was the star of this show.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne was amazing.
Dude, Pete Dunne needs to cut his fucking hair. You know how distracting that was?
I know.
It's so parted.
You
It
gotta let
fits
you gotta
straight
let this
up,
go.
dude.
I can't.
You gotta let
Because like it's a
Pete
lopsided.
Dunne. This is Pete Dunne.
What is up
Welcome
with
to
his hair,
welcome back.
though?
Like Pete Dunne was fantastic.
You know, he's obviously
How
dominated half
cringeworthy
the
is
match.
his like finger thing he does? 'Cause,
yeah.
like he does it so well. I was like, oh shit.
I did
he
that to
actually
my
break
fingers.
his
I'm like,
fingers?
God, he's gonna freaking break your finger.
Yes.
But
he's kick ass.
They did not get the win.
Nope.
Undisputed Era. I loved the ending where they kept in unison hitting the same move on them.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like it was really cool. Pat McAfee was great. That was one of the best moonsaults I've
Dude,
seen.
that moonsault. Because
Absolutely.
I really like to shit talk Pat McAfee because I want to punch him in his mouth and then I'll lose that fight. But it's not a fight, so it's a punch. But like to watch that was fucking legit.
Mhm.
I can't believe he
And
did
his
it.
spot off the
It looked-
top where he swanton.
It was so well done.
And then the table spot where he had all their names. So that was pretty creative. Like, I got one for each of you.
That
Like,
was fun.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's
He is.
he's doing very
We're getting
well.
back to the inevitable Adam
Yeah.
Cole versus Pat McAfee 2 match,
Right.
which I'm excited for. And we're going to get it sooner than we think, too, which we'll get to that next. Yvonne, what did you think of this?
Great match. Pete Dunne, he dominated half the match. He's kind of growing on me a little bit. I mean, he still creeps me out. I mean, like
The hair.
And he came out last
his
night
hair. I don't know.
and interrupted.
He needs to look in the
He
mirror.
came
and
out
fix
last
it.
night and interrupted Finn Balor. He's the first
He
one out.
did. He did.
He's gonna
So-
lose that fight. You don't fuck with the demon.
You don't. And then Pat McAfee, jumping off the top, incredible.
That
I
was
mean,
nuts.
He's an absolute. I mean, he's
That
nuts.
was a great moonsault.
He's
They were talking
nuts.
on Busted Open, like Bully's like, well, I think he does a better moonsault than Io Shirai does. And she
Yeah,
has like the famous
right.
moonsault, right?
Mhm.
He's like, but sometimes she kicks his girls in the head, the ribs. He's like,
She
Pat
does.
hit him perfect and it didn't even look like it really hurt because he landed so softly on him. He's like, perfect.
I became.
He's like, it's textbook.
yeah, I
which is-
became a fan of Pete Dunne and McAfee. So.
Well, let's
I like
not get
McAfee.
carried away.
Yeah, not.
I like McAfee's
It's
great
slow
on the mic.
for me. They still both drive me nuts.
He's a huge asset for
yeah,
NXT.
he is.
Yeah. The thing with Pat McAfee is a dude that's obviously just has talent. He did very well as a kicker in the NFL. He was always good on Bob and Tom. He had his little radio.
He has
show
like
he's
9
good at.
different careers now.
Yeah, like he's just
Mhm.
good at what he does, and I hate to admit it because I thought he was hilarious on Bob and Tom, but he's still kind of douchey. But like he's a football player. He comes over to the WWE and like he's such a douche though. He's just so douche, But he's doing good. He's kicking ass, man. I gotta give him the credit to that.
Mm-hmm.
Good match.
Good match.
Larkin and Birch have never been more relevant. This is what you do to guys like Birch and Larkin were always good, but there was just like, bleh, nothing about him stood out. You throw them with McAfee, then they have character. It just rubs off. The rub, that's the key word in this episode. Pat McAfee just makes him relevant and makes him more entertaining. Then, these guys can wrestle. Well, now we know that because we're paying attention.
And he's actually a former NFL player who's actually doing the work. He's not like fucking Gronk.
He was named punter of the decade.
Yeah.
Like he made the old decade team as a punter.
Well,
and he was famous for hitting people.
But he's doing a match. Let's think about that for a minute. Because he had a guy like Gronk came over and didn't do shit.
He was a 24/7 champion.
He's using his name to be popular there. Then he had all these other celebrities who basically did the same thing. But McAfee is making himself popular in the ring right now, which is above and beyond every other already kind of celebrity who's been here. So he's actually trying to be a wrestler, unlike everybody else who's just living off their name.
Whose first couple matches were more impressive, Rousey or McAfee?
McAfee. Honestly, Rousey doesn't impress me. She was just
Rousey's tag was great, but I go McAfee because she was in a tag match with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
She had a buffer. McAfee was one-on-one. Adam Cole,
exactly.
No bullshit. He had to take all these spots as he's green as hell. His first match, you know the guy's nervous. I don't care how many careers he has. He's always said he wanted to be a wrestler, and he crushed it his first night.
Yeah.
Ronda had the buffer, and then, Ronda had obviously a great year. I think Pat was the most impressive first time from the outside coming in wrestler that they've ever had.
Yeah, man. And it's not trying to disrespect Ronda Rousey. She did fine when she was
She had
there.
a great year.
But most of her matches weren't one-on-one. She always, like you said, had the buffer. She had the people kind of making her look
She did survive a one-on-one match with Nia Jax.
That's her UFC background.
Yeah.
But she was already a fighter too, and she kind of just turned her fighter into a wrestler, but still did a lot of her fighting stuff. And so, but with Pat McAfee, he wasn't a fighter; he was a football player. It's a different ball game, different league, right? So the fact that he was able to do that much of a turnaround, I think is impressive, and just fucking go. Like he's doing flips off cages. Has Ronda Rousey, would she even consider doing that? Fuck no. She'd be like, but I want to be a mom, and wouldn't do it. So like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I like that she's like, I want to be a mom. Then Becky beats her to it too.
I thought that too.
But Becky's just better than you, Ronda.
Yeah, man.
She's learning that now. Becky's better than her. Yeah.
I watched Fast 7 the other day, and Ronda Rousey was in it. I forgot she was in it. She has a fight scene with Michelle Rodriguez.
Archie, I need you to cut this part.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear about that Fast and Furious bullshit
It's
until
good
Cena revitalizes the whole thing.
The Rock already revitalized it once.
That's why he's gone.
No, he's not gone. He's in him still.
No, he's gone.
He's
That's why Cena's in it. See, all Cena does is take over what The Rock does and do it better.
Oh, please.
Actually, Rock went on and he did a spinoff with Hobbs and Shaw and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it sucked.
It did suck. It was not good.
It was bad.
But
just like the rest of them.
But John
Anyway,
they're all good.
Anyway,
for that one.
New Year's Evil was announced.
3 sucks too.
NXT New Year's Evil. It's going to be on a Wednesday right after New Year's. This is what I think the name means. I think we're getting Karrion Kross and Demon Finn Balor. Karrion Kross returned to NXT last night. Scarlett came out so Balor comes to the ring. Pete Dunne comes out. Damian Priest comes out.
Kyle
O'Reilly comes out. They're all stating their claim for the championship. Finn just leaves. And he's like, you guys, I'm defending it at New Year's Evil. It ain't my job to figure out who I'm fighting. You guys figure it out.
He said it's
Scarlett comes out, stares him down. Priest grabs a mic and goes, hey, tell your boy to come talk for himself or something like that and quit being a little bitch. She just stares him down like creepily, and then it ends. Mm-hmm. Then Priest comes out to fight later, and Kross comes out, beats the shit out of him, power slams him off the stage to a table, and now Priest is going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Oh boy.
Fair enough. I think we can carry on Kross, Finn Balor. Priest comes back, calls Kross to match, and that's going to be our feud.
Yep.
But anyway, what matches would you guys like to see? So this is basically going to be, I just feel like the matches that were pretty much made evident at TakeOver are going to happen here. Well, who would you guys like to see fight? Because I think Cole and McAfee would be something I'd like to see as well.
Yeah, they about have to. They have to do another one-on-one. So that'd be good, obviously, just because those two have good chemistry together anyway. And, so they can obviously go. They've been doing it for a while now.
Then you'd have, like, Johnny Gargano. Who would you guys like to see him go up against?
I don't really – honestly, Yvonne, you take this one because I'm not that familiar with NXT to do that.
Think about Gargano, and, he's beaten a lot of people in NXT. You wouldn't want to see him fight Ciampa again.
No.
Cameron Grimes, maybe. Not really. That's tough. I don't know who.
Dexter Lumis.
The creepy guy. Of course.
He's heel. Who's the only baby face?
Okay.
I don't know if Dexter Lumis is technically a baby face.
No, he's right.
I didn't get a.
He's right. It's Kushida.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Kushida?
Oh,
The guy
he
who
was
dresses like the guy from Back to the Future.
Oh, he was. I think he was on last
because
night,
last night,
Yep.
Leon Ruff was teaming up with Priest to take on Gargano and Austin Theory next
that's what it
week.
was, yeah.
Kushida comes up after they declare that Priest won't be there. Kushida said, I partner with you. It's going to be Kushida. Never mind.
Never mind. That's
I'd like
Thaz just saved that.
that
one.
would make sense more than Kushida.
Oh, shout out to AJ. He'll be on next week. Yeah, Yvonne's trying.
How do we know it's not Dave?
I'm trying, AJ.
Well, because he said I'm stuck at work.
Maybe Dave's at work.
Dave doesn't work.
Well,
He lays on his bed and records podcasts.
I guess the man we called Dave. I'm not sure what his real name is, but
And another match I'd like to see: Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. I would like to see that match happen.
That seems inevitable.
There's nobody else. Io Shirai has pretty much beat everybody, but Raquel Gonzalez. So
there it is.
So what about Ripley?
let's see.
You got Ripley. I'm just naming people that don't have matches. Undisputed Era's got all three of them. You still got Ripley. You still got Blackheart. Obviously, Oray's injured. Tony Storm, Ember Moon. Something's going on there, right? Because they're.
Yeah.
So I think Tony
Yeah,
Storm,
I mean,
Ember Moon would be a.
I would
one-on-one.
imagine some of the chicks from that match will just
Yeah.
have their own
Champa
matches.
Thatcher too.
Probably they're not obviously not
That'd
done
be a
yet.
stacked Wednesday night.
Well, you got to pull it off, man. You got to beat that
Jesus.
Sting numbers.
Yeah.
You got to beat them
Still
Stings.
could hit a million.
I could see a Tony Storm versus Amber Moon, or a Tony Storm versus Amber Moon versus Rhea Ripley. Maybe one of those two, because Ripley did get involved to save Amber, but they may throw it all together and make a triple threat.
I'm excited. I'm glad Chuck really enjoyed War Games.
It was
I know
good.
last
Yeah,
week
fun.
you were like, I'm not watching live. And you're like, shit, I'm watching live. I told her, I was like, he's watching live. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I was more excited that you were watching live than I was watching live.
And I was more excited.
War
that I
Games
told
was so
everything
good
right.
last year too.
It
It's
was
such
good.
a cool. And everybody's like, that concept is so played out. It's like, yeah, well, watch the show and tell me it sucked,
Mhm.
and then I'll tell you it's played out.
No, War Games is fun. Fuck
It
those
is.
It
guys.
happens once a year.
I mean, yeah, like you know what? I like the Rumble a lot. It's been around since 1988. Is
Yep.
it maybe sooner? Is it fucking played out? No, it's fucking fun. Shut up.
Spaz, I don't think Candice can wrestle.
No,
She's in a broken arm, dog.
Yes, I think she's out.
I think she's out.
She broke that shit on somebody's head.
They could creatively make that work. I
And
guess. but-
Indy Hartwell's kind of injured with her neck. A little bit.
Fucking War Games is played out. It took a break for like a decade.
Yeah.
if not
And
longer.
they have it twice in 1 year. And it's like, yeah, we don't want that no more.
Jesus. Actually, it's probably 15, 20 years, actually. Shut up. The Rumble is once a year for the last 30 years, 33 years. And they're going to say, oh, that's not played out. And actually, the Rumble's even more played out because it's always like a bullshit, weird thing. It's not like even the Rumble anymore, but I still love it. So,
Yeah, Rumble's always my favorite one.
It's my
every year.
favorite, too.
Why are there so many
The third,
haters?
it's such a cool. It's such a cool thing. Like we have to figure out how to do some cool thing with the buzz with the Rumble with all the numbers and stuff.
It'd be fun. We should figure something out.
Because the Rumble's so fun because
It is
surprise entrances, the all that kind of
You're
stuff. It's awesome.
thinking who's coming back to enter, and you hear that music fight, you hear the number count.
Oh, yeah, that-
It makes me excited.
Yeah, and we're gonna get some fans this year.
Yep.
WWE's been holding out,
Yep.
just
Oh,
doing
yeah.
Thunderdome, just so they can do it for this one show.
I hope they do, man. I hope
Because
I
the
hope it works
countdown,
out.
we'll miss the countdown, even though I'm sure they could make the LED boards. People can
They
do it,
could.
Yeah.
and they'll
Yeah.
pump in some noise. But I'd rather it be
It's more fun when it's natural.
if everybody
Yes,
can have
it
a couple thousand fans, they should as well.
They should be allowed to.
But
There's no reason why not. I mean, I guess
speaking
COVID. But
of, I hate calling it the main roster. I thought that's disrespectful to NXT because I feel like their show's better than both of them.
I'd agree with that.
I agree
Even
too.
though
Yeah.
SmackDown's been really good. But before we start talking about the latest Raw and SmackDown, like we said last week, we have a new home. We didn't get into it because Tyson Kidd just, he gets jealous that he isn't part of the buzz yet.
But
But
he was. He told us. I really was kidding.
we're part of the buzz. We have new social media.
He didn't give a shit.
RSH, we have the same. It's in the bottom left-hand corner, same as always. The Buzz has different social media. But Josh, we can't find it. Well, we conveniently have this video just for you guys so you can find our social media.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar, told you that I'd go far. Baby, it's crystal clear. I'm not a souvenir. I'm not an accessory, I'm a necessity. So come and check me out now. I'm a necessity, so come and check me out now.
Dude, that music jacks me up. I just want to go around singing, I'm a necessity.
I need to learn the words of that.
I'm glad you said
I
that.
need to write
When
the
you
words
said that
down
movie,
and
Jay, I was like, oh
memorize
god,
it.
where's this going? After your shower thing, I'm still.
After I used my Manscape 3.0, remember 10% off at RSH 2020.
Let's start with our favorite show of. I hate calling it the main roster, but I guess it's what it technically is.
It is. Yeah.
SmackDown.
Yep.
Roman Reigns' show. I used to say the Rock show. No.
All
Now
right.
it's the Roman Reigns show.
It's
Roman
this
Reigns.
storyline with him and KO is so fucking good. It's not even fun.
It is.
It's not even fair.
Mhm.
So how long until Jimmy Uso is like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
I think it's already past it. I think he's in. They already did the whole feud with him. I don't think he's going to turn on Roman now.
But Roman just beat the fuck out of him with a chair.
Yeah, I think it's going to still.
All
You
right.
tell me. I'm at. That's the thing. How fantastic is this storyline? We all agree it's great.
Yep.
This is kind of a rhetorical question that I just put out there anyway.
Mhm.
How do you guys see it playing out at TLC? Because you're going to get KO, Roman Reigns, tables, ladders, and chairs.
Yeah.
So there's the possibility that Jey Uso gets involved, but I don't think
I would
Roman
agree.
drops to strap here.
At this point, he's not dropping the strap. There's no way. Kevin Owens is winning. But, I'm sorry. Reverse that. Kevin Owens is losing. I mean, they're just waiting for WrestleMania now. But
Goldberg.
Oh, God. It's worse than Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Those two bad names, really.
Brock Lesnar all day, every day.
Every day, dude. Honestly, I prefer Brock Lesnar over Goldberg because Goldberg is
Yeah.
worse. than
Brock Lesnar can work.
Yeah, at least when he wants to do a match, he can.
Hey, I just don't like. I don't like either one.
Brock Lesnar's like Randy Orton when he cares.
No.
He's good.
Don't-
Yeah, because Randy Orton don't care half the time. He's
Take
outside
that
smoking
comment
cigarettes.
back. Don't compare him to Randy Orton.
I showed you
That's
that
a very
picture.
bad
He's
joke.
outside smoking Marlboro menthols.
He
Dude,
does, man. At least not Element Reds. That's my ex-girlfriend.
Do not compare Randy Orton to Brock Lesnar. Absolutely.
Don't make Brock Lesnar beat his face in again.
I know with his elbows, like shit. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if Jey Uso was a turn on Reigns because of that shit, like I could see that happening, but Reigns is still winning the match. There's no way Owens is winning the title at TLC. But maybe he does. And it's just a way because what's the pay-per-view after TLC? That's the Rumble, right?
Rumble. Yep.
So
TLC is like the appetizer before like the road to WrestleMania hits.
unless they want Reigns to win the Rumble, so they take it off Reigns and give it to KO just so Reigns can win the Rumble.
You know what? You could book a KO Goldberg Reigns thing because Goldberg ruined KO's push.
That's
too.
a good point.
It
It ain't
about
happening.
that.
Let's not get carried away.
That'd be too- that'd be
We're going to put Goldberg
That
over.
would be too creative.
right. Yeah. Making up a 5-year-old, 4-year-old
Man,
mistake.
God
but,
forbid I give him some long-term storytelling stuff.
I know. But no, it's just going to be, I agree. It's probably just going to be a simple, clean, straight up match. Probably good. There'll be some back and forth, but Reigns is definitely going to win.
KO can still come out looking fantastic out of this, which this has already done a lot for him being back in the main event. Oh, God.
I just read that too.
Last week, I heard that a plan for Mania was a 30-minute half Iron Man with
Oh,
Strowman
God.
and Sullivan.
Like Kevin Sullivan?
No, the Lars guy.
I know. I was kidding.
The creepy
the
Lars.
corn guy.
Yeah.
That would not be interesting. at
Hello,
all.
my name is Mitch, and I'm having a good time.
There you
That
go.
guy.
Yeah, that wouldn't be entertaining at all. I mean, I could
No,
see it.
I'm
but,
not
like,
a Lars Sullivan guy. I'm still
No, I'm not
confused
either.
why he's hired there.
I agree
yeah,
too.
I'm over it. I like Braun Strowman a lot, but like at this point,
That'd be a downgrade for Braun Strowman.
yeah, I
too.
agree.
Braun Strowman would be fighting Drew McIntyre if he wasn't injured right now. AJ
Yeah.
Styles. It's sad that AJ Styles is a fill-in.
It is, but I get
It
it though.
is.
Like I like AJ Styles a lot. He's my favorite, but I understand why he's in this role because he doesn't need to be anywhere else. Like it makes sense for him to be kind of this guy right now.
It does, and he's got 7-foot giant out there.
Man,
having
just
his
hanging
back.
out.
and he's playing the role good. I like it. I'm in. I'm excited for SmackDown tomorrow to see what other. This
Mhm.
is not the go home show. They have another
Yes, the
pay-per-view
week
is
after
the
Christmas.
Sunday after, because next week AJ is going to be on with us and do predictions, even though no titles are on the line.
Not
But
AJ Styles. Don't get it twisted.
we still.
That would be exciting.
You don't know. You got to tune in to find out.
or is it?
One thing I agree with you guys. I have Roman winning that match, but I disagree. I think Jay's going to get involved, helping maybe, or it could end like in a no disqualification. Maybe.
Well, it's a TLC match. There's
Well,
no,
okay.
there's no
Well, the-
Okay, I'll take that back.
The thing is, though, this whole storyline has been going with Jay keeps interfering,
Yep.
and Roman keeps saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
So at some point, and he just got his ass beat for doing it this past SmackDown. So at some point, he's going to not interfere,
Yeah.
and Reigns is going to lose that match. I don't think that match will be TLC,
No, it's
Maybe
but-
this week on SmackDown.
but maybe on SmackDown. I could see that happening because that
They team up, and then Jay looks, I could help, but I'm not getting my ass kicked again. And then
The way I see it playing out, because every time Jay's comes out, Roman gets pissed. So I see it playing out as Reigns is getting his ass beat. Jay is backstage watching, and maybe Heyman's like doing this or something, and Jay just doesn't come out.
Something's gonna happen.
That I could see that going down, and that would play into this storyline greatly. So we'll see.
Roman Reigns said everything has a consequence, so he's going to pay for it regardless. So,
and maybe Jay will be like, "Yeah, everything has a consequence. I could help you, but I did it." Oos, something like that.
Yeah, something exactly like that.
The Forgotten Sons are back. 2 of them at least.
You forget about those.
I was waiting for it.
I was a big
It's so overdone.
Jason Riker, the one that actually got in trouble for that actually got in trouble for his political tweet or whatever.
Fucking tweets, man.
He ended up on WWE main event. Apparently, they're playing around with the idea that he could be Elias's manager. Reports are that Vince is super high on Elias and feels like that they could plug in anybody with him and he would elevate them instantly, which I don't disagree with that. Elias could make the guy relevant, a bitch lackey, some kind of thing. Like he just tells him what to do, carry my bags, whatever. But the Forgotten Sons are going to join with Corbin and kind of be his lackeys, it looks like. And they're apparently going into this feud with Murphy, Ray, and Dominic. So what's your guys' thoughts on the Forgotten Sons being back? And hey, it's not Seth anymore. So it's a new feud for the Mysterios.
I got to say, I'm over the Rey Mysterio, what do they call themselves? Clique? Family.
Their family.
I just don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. They don't do it for me. I don't want to see Rey Mysterio's weird, almost underage daughter hanging out with Murphy, who just looks weird and sweaty. I like Murphy a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't
say you're a Murphy guy.
I just don't like that group together. It doesn't make without Rollins. It doesn't make sense.
How long until Buddy and Aaliyah branch off?
I'm guessing they'll even break up on screen. I'm guessing in about a month they'll just be doing different things.
I still think we're going to get a Buddy Dominic tag team title run or something.
I would believe it.
Yeah,
Who is it? Street Profits, right?
Street Profits, yep.
And they're going to fight Ziggler and Rude, I think, at TLC.
Yep, they are.
It's just nice to see Ziggler and Rude getting props. I think Bobby Roode's very underutilized.
Oh, absolutely.
We've heard it over the years with Ziggler. We get it. I'm kind of over. I've heard about it so much. I'm kind of over it. But Bobby Roode, whatever the hell you want to call him, the guy whose theme song epically was played at your wedding,
and it was glorious.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Everybody popped. Our boy Kevin Hart. I was watching Kevin, and
he was like, "Holy shit!"
Kevin popped. They said, "I do." It's like didn't get as big of a pop as the glorious theme song.
Our exit was way better.
I think, like your guys' intros and exits. Got the biggest pop.
Nailed it. Absolutely.
Like biggest pop.
Oh, yeah, man. We were thinking about
music's very important in a wedding.
It is. And
I won't know because I never have one. But I went
say
to
that
one.
and you will.
So for you guys who don't know, let's tell you the real quick story. So we did the I-Do's, whatever. So we had a flask. I had my flask in my pocket. My wife had hers hidden in her dress somewhere, probably in her boobs or something. I don't remember. And we said I do, and then we took out our flask and we did the shot, and then we did the final kiss or whatever, and then the glorious song. Nobody knew it was coming. I don't even know if you guys knew it was coming. Did you guys know?
You told us.
Oh,
the night before, you were like, I can't tell you what's happening. Then we all got drunk, and you're like, psst.
Sounds like me.
You're like, psst, like screaming, psst, come here. Then it's like, you fucking tell him. You did. One of your friends did not remember, though. It wasn't Nick either. Nick was cool.
Oh, I got you. But
that's when I first actually met Nick.
He's cool. Yeah.
No, I didn't say all that. That's when I just met him.
Sure.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's a Cleveland's fan, but whatever.
He took a big step back away from cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we turned, and then as we turned, that music hit, and the beginning that do. So my wife and I went down, and then glorious, and then we got the fuck out. And we walked to the beer keg or beer cooler.
Yep. We each grabbed a bridesmaid.
It's
we
very
had
classy.
It all rehearsed, and we opened their beer for them, handed it to them. Then we got ours. Cheers, and it was great.
It's very classy wedding, and Bobby Roode was a part of it.
He did. That's the most he's been put on That's the most he's been utilized in years.
I know.
Yep.
That's the sad part. But all right, Yvonne, how do you feel about this? I don't really care right now. I need to see where it goes. I don't care for this particular storyline, but I'm all for if you're going to keep King Corbin as King Corbin, he needs some lackeys or something to do his bidding.
Yeah.
It fits like the King character.
That's true.
I like the Forgotten Sons. I'm glad they're back.
Yeah, they were going to get a push before that tweet, and then they pretty much threw Cesaro and Shinsuke right into it.
It's too bad too because they were good. Like their promos backstage were good. I like those guys.
I think they were going over New Day.
They probably were.
Yep.
I mean, they were getting over heavy, and then all of a sudden gone because of fucking Twitter.
Stay off social media, people.
Jesus. Even though most of our comments here are coming from Twitter. So stay on Twitter. Just be cool on Twitter.
Right.
They need to be a dick.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What is your favorite moments from this year, Joshua?
I'll give you a couple. You have to tune in a couple weeks. I think we've got some thing in the works with our favorite Brit, Alex Benison, for a show for this.
I mean, he's not my favorite bit. Let's not
But
get
I said
carried away.
one of them. I mean, he's no Russell Brand.
I like Emma Watson. Is she British?
I never heard of her.
She was in Harry Potter anyway. So.
Hermione, grab me that broom, you ignorant slut. Anyway,
Jesus.
I love Harry Potter. Ain't that from the movie?
I mean,
You loved Harry
maybe
Potter.
a little.
Did he start banging his best friend's sister?
What? No. What are you talking
Didn't
about?
I
Harry
don't
start
even know what
dating
he's
Ron's
talking
sister?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched the last two movies yet.
Don't look at me like I'm nuts. I'm pretty sure that happens.
I don't think they said dumb
We know
slut.
you're nuts. That's the thing.
I don't know.
I definitely
Maybe,
know
listen,
that.
maybe the internet has a different version than what was in theaters.
Or you were watching the Pornhub version.
Favorite moments?
watching something.
That's my guess.
You're watching something.
Not get into that. Mania, Firefly Funhouse, Boneyard. That's two.
Bam, straight up.
There's two of them. I won't give you the rest. You have to tune back in.
Tune
but
in
there's
at the
two
end of the
them.
year for the rest.
I mean, I think both main events technically the Firefly was not the main event, even though I feel like it'd been hilarious if that ended it and like Titus was like, then it ends.
It wasn't the main event?
No, it was McIntyre and Brock.
Oh, okay.
Boneyard ended night one. McIntyre and Brock ended night two. Because remember, Strowman fought Goldberg, and I was
I don't
like,
like the color.
because after we watched Rhea Ripley's career almost get ended by Charlotte, we had
You're
to.
Charlotte? Okay. She's your Charlotte.
I have to ask real quick.
This is funny.
on the version you were watching, was Harry Potter Buzz?
I love that.
He was like, Hermione,
Oh my
you
God.
ignorant slut, get in the shower and use this Manscape eraser.
Was this his magic wand?
Back then, it was the
Oh my
lawnmower like
God.
0.3, not 3.0.
What kills
It
me
was
that
the
it has a flashlight on it.
I know,
I
right?
can't.
It's the best.
Oh, Harry Potter. Harry Twitter's what I was watching.
Oh,
Completely
there it is. There it is.
Completely different.
Really? It
My
sounds
bad.
yeah, you're bad. You're disgusting.
My bad. I forgot.
Yeah, that happens.
Just
You're-
like the forgotten.
That's
You're
close.
disgusting.
You know,
Segues into nothing, but we're going to move on. Big E, new music. He's doing the fucking chalk shit he did,
Yeah.
like he did when he first
Back in-
debuted, when he
back in
beat
the-
John Cena the fuck up when he debuted.
Oh, I forgot he beat John. That's right. He did beat John.
He came
Cena.
in. Remember he joined Ziggler
Yep.
right away, and AJ Lee.
I remember that group. I just forgot that he beat
Ziggler won
John
the Money in
Cena.
the Bank from
Yeah,
John Cena.
I remember that. I just forgot that Big E beat him. I remember now. Hell
Should
yeah.
he win the IC title from Zayn? Because that's tomorrow. It's probably going to be made official. That's going to be the match for TLC.
Yeah, at this point, I like Sami Zayn a lot, but it's time for Big E to get that shit.
You can long term feud that
Sure.
too, because there's the
Yeah.
Rumble, so he's not going to defend it there, and then you could. That's a SmackDown match. That's a really good match on
It's a
SmackDown
good
for a
feud.
while.
Yeah, it's a good feud for sure. All day, every day on Friday.
Should Big E win the title from Sami
Yep.
Zayn?
I agree. Yep. Have him winning.
It's about time
It's
WWE stands behind some shit they say they're going to do. They split up New Day. Let's
Yeah,
give
man.
it a reason. New
Big
Day's
E go.
putting in good stuff with the Hurt Business. I enjoy it, even though some of it doesn't make sense. But it's good. It's been very entertaining.
Oh, he's
the
going-
Raw tag division's more interesting now.
Yep, I agree.
Big E needs something. He's been off TV for a few weeks since that great
Mhm.
street fight he had with Sheamus.
I know. Like I
And
was
everybody's
wondering,
bitching. Like,
like that was so awesome, and then he's just gone. Like,
yeah, and you just let the momentum die.
it's like
Yep.
what?
So
Mhm.
get the strap on the guy, have him have a great showing in the Rumble. Sami Zayn screws him somehow, gets thrown out, comes back in and throws him out or something to keep that going so Big E looks strong. Have him eliminate 10 people. Like,
Yeah.
make Big E legit. Strowman doesn't need to do that again. Brock doesn't need to do that if he's in it. You don't, hell, Goldberg can't do a Rumble match. Don't even think about putting him in that.
Mhm.
Goldberg
No, he
30-man
do
match.
any
He can't do a 30-second match.
That's
But Biggie needs a strap. I'd give him the strap and let him run with it for a while.
absolutely correct. Yeah, it's time for Big E to get it. Like they've been hitting his push for years now.
Yep.
It's time.
We've always
It's
heard he's
time.
world champion potential. Let's give him the IC title and see what happens there.
He's no longer a future guy. He's been in the company for how long now? A
Yeah.
decade? Like it's time. A little less, I think. It's-
Futures now.
It's time. Yeah, his career in WWE is probably longer than all of Rock's career.
Well, just think of what SmackDown is too. When you back in the day, Raw's got all the superstars. SmackDown's just always kind of had those mid card that elevate themselves on SmackDown, like
Sure.
Edge, Batista, Rey Mysterio. Hell, Brock started on SmackDown. Cena.
He did.
Cena got so hot on SmackDown, they just moved him to Raw, and it's one of the most epic draft picks ever with Christian's Peep Show or whatever, right?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm John Cena, or the fucking belt comes down, and he's like the champ. Like yeah. So SmackDown is perfect place for Big E as long as they do it right. The New Day's not dead. They can always put them back together. Just think when that stuff. How excited was everybody for the Fresh Prince reunion?
I didn't watch it.
I haven't saw it. I'm going to watch it. I heard
I'm
it was
gonna
great,
watch it.
and they talked a lot about Uncle Phil, which I feels like pretty cool.
He was my favorite character.
and I'd
on
probably
that show.
cried
I
because
liked-
unfortunately, as everybody knows, he passed a couple years ago.
Yeah, he was.
But like the
Shit.
best thing about
Did you know he was Shredder on the old Turtles cartoon?
yeah,
It's badass.
and he was in a couple movies. I didn't realize like shit. That's
I
Uncle
didn't
Phil.
either.
I always call him Uncle Phil.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never know
too.
what his real name
Oh,
is. but he's Uncle Phil.
Yeah, he's Uncle Phil.
James Avery
Like-
is his real name.
No,
Damn.
Uncle Phil is his real
Ron's
name.
dropping facts. I didn't even know.
I thought me and you've watched Fresh Prince like forever, almost.
I didn't know his name. I don't.
James Avery.
I'm always in the kitchen getting shit during like the intro. Like when I hear that's when the fucking
Well, it
song.
comes in handy
That's my
now.
intent. That's my cue to go to the
There
bathroom
we go.
or go get food.
That's what you say about when me and you
Then when the
watch
show
wrestling.
comes on, you sit down. This is back before DVR. When Fresh Prince was out, DVR did not exist. If
That's
you
true.
missed a minute, you missed it.
I remember those days,
He
man.
says this when we watch wrestling on Mondays. When the bad stuff comes on, going to the bathroom, get something to drink.
Yeah,
doing
so,
something,
like,
I'm done with it.
Anything to do with
Charlotte, go ahead.
the women's division.
Woo!
As you
Lana.
said, you're Charlotte or what?
Anyway, speaking of the women's division, Yvonne,
Oh,
you're probably the only one. We'll see.
Oh, we know who's winning this match. It's not Sasha Banks.
Are you
Thanks, Snoop.
Are you invested
Oh boy.
in this Carmella Sasha Banks thing? Because I'll say I thought that promo on SmackDown was not that good.
It was complete.
I think
garbage.
Carmella's was like super forced. Banks is more natural at it, and I get it. But
I'm just glad Sasha Banks didn't bring up Eddie Guerrero. Finally, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. You guys invested in this feud at all?
No,
And it's happening at TLC. So
I mean I couldn't care less, but I really do believe that Sasha Banks is losing for two reasons. One, she has never successfully defended a title.
Mhm.
They're gonna keep that going, and then Snoop Dogg just fucked her over.
until she beat Bailey, but she's only done it when she beat her on SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
No,
that was the
fair.
first.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, but no, this is a paper.
The Snoop Dogg thing.
Snoop Dogg.
You think
no.
the Snoop Dogg thing? See, I think there's no chance in hell Carmella wins.
Oh, I think you're wrong because of Snoop Dogg. I think Vince is that petty. I think he is that petty that he would legit do that just because Snoop did
He
that.
probably would. I don't think he'd punish her though.
I think he
She's
would.
one of his top
Could.
fucking superstars.
I mean, he's not firing her. She's just not gonna be a champion right now. Like I think that's I could totally
It
see
wouldn't
that.
shock me. I just
When it comes to this feud, I mean, I'm invested in Carmella. I've been a fan of Carmella since day one. You know, she won Miss Money in the
Ish.
Bank.
Haha.
Since day one, I've never been a Sasha Banks fan, ever.
Ever?
But I will sit and give her respect. Like Chuck said, when it comes to defending a title, she cannot retain it at all. Carmella has a
No.
background of winning. So going back to SmackDown, when they both exchanged words, I did not like what either one of them said. Carmella could have said, you had Banks told Carmella that she had James Ellsworth helping her win Money in the Bank. But think about it, Sasha, Carmella could have said to you that Bailey helped you accomplish where you got. Because what happened when you returned back? Who did you go to? You went to Bailey when you came back from your injury. So you kind of own your props to Bailey. I wish Carmella would have said that. I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't you tell her that? Because this feud gets me crazy because it's very invested. But
So I think you sound very invested.
I paid attention. I'm sitting there like, if
she's invested in everything I'm not.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
that's why it works.
yeah.
James Ellsworth could be a guest on the show here soon. Something worth.
Did you actually reach out to him?
Yeah, he
Did
reached
you?
back.
Did he?
Oh, wow.
What did he
Yeah.
say?
That's awesome.
We'll talk about
That's
that.
all fair,
We'll
I
talk
guess.
about that off- we don't want our enemies. Those other fuckers over at the Buzz taking our guests.
Oh, they would too. Fucking
Fucking
Bakley.
innocent.
Yeah, fucking-
Daniel Bockley takes everything from everybody.
I know. He's
Fucking-
like, I want to text this guy.
I have red hair, but my name's Bockley. It's
I have-
like, no, you're not. There ain't no Irish people named Bockley.
I have right here, but I'm bald. It makes no sense. You can't have both because you manscape your genitals off.
Oh boy.
Well,
And-
listen, Bakley's like that guy that like I can't buy a desk
Oh,
before I Photoshop it in my actual house.
Don't be that guy.
Like,
boy.
listen, honey, I want to go to IKEA. The fact that I can't put this desk together is not the point. I need to crop it and put it in our dining room to make sure it fits so I can reach my fucking caramel popcorn over there.
Those dimensions aren't even legit, bruh. That's all bullshit. It's all
It's just Photoshop.
Yeah.
You think that's my real head on those people?
that's
Photoshop, bro.
That Tiger one might be.
But look, we can't give him James Ellsworth. He'll bring him on and play the Stand Your Ground video, and he'll think he's in a soccer podcast.
He's probably-
He probably would.
But anyway,
But I'm with Chuck. I have my girl Carmella winning.
let's go to something.
She's
Listen,
money.
let's
Bella's
go to.
money.
Let's
Yep.
start with something Chuck's invested in. We're going to end with something we're all invested in. How cool are the bro nuts? We actually seen them this week.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, man. I really want to talk shit about Riddle so much, but he still cracks me the fuck up.
It's hard. It's hard.
He's like that typical pothead you know in high school.
I
Like,
know.
bro, I'm so
But he don't
stoned.
wear shoes.
And like
Other
the teachers
people-
don't yell at him because he's so like adorable. It's like, oh, he's so harmless. He's just high.
Yeah.
It's like he's just on drugs today.
Last week we didn't really talk about it because we were doing other stuff with Tyson Kidd and shit. But like last week, his interviews were even funny. He's gonna be. What did he say? He was gonna go weed all your houses. You'll be weedless. It's like, how is he allowed to say this?
I like how they're letting him play into. Like these are the things WWE does not get credit for. They're letting him play into like his obvious pothead persona.
Sure.
That the vibes he gives off.
But you can't call him a stoner or a pothead, so
He can't
just,
come on
you
and
know.
like, yeah, I'm getting fucking
But
stoned later.
There's a lot of things that are similar. They're funny, but when he actually used the word weedless, I was like, holy shit! Like that's the next level. Yeah,
Bro
man.
nuts. He gets high, he cuts your weeds, gets rid of them for you, and then he
Oh,
eats
geez.
bro
You're
nuts.
gonna have to be weedless.
And then if you like you're mean to him, he's just like it's great.
What's up,
Dude.
bro? Hey, bro.
That first time was still classic. Though.
Yeah.
I
MVP, you can see he's like
you just
cut the camera.
That
Hurry,
threw him
hurry,
off.
hurry,
Yeah,
hurry.
he's like, look, yeah, he double take. He like double took. He's like, oh,
It's hard not to like Riddle. I mean,
I told you guys. I
Yeah.
fucking told
He's
both.
so entertaining.
Chuck's like, he don't fucking wear shoes. I hate him. It's
as
like,
long as
here-
the
he's
camera is here,
Don't
up.
blend
got-
in on
dude, you're
shit.
gonna be like sitting up with your jack, like yeah. As you see that pyro go off as he kicks his
No.
sandals
Just
off.
don't show
That's
us
the road
his
you're
feet.
going on. He's gonna be eating
Yeah.
a bro nut, kicking his sandals off all at the same
Yeah.
time.
I'll throw up, man. Yeah, I can't.
I'm with Chuck on that. I mean,
That's why we're awesome Wednesday Night Champions.
we wear shoes.
Me formerly, you currently.
We wear shoes.
That's right. All day, every day.
I wear shoes.
Not
I like Matt
myself.
Riddle.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so Drew McIntyre and Sheamus had some shit go down. This is a slow burning storyline. It looks like. I feel like this is a Royal Rumble match
Yeah.
in the making.
See that? Be fun.
Had some tension. They cut the commercial. They come back. They're beating the shit out of each other,
Yeah,
and then they start power bombing
They're-
random people through tables.
They are just super right now doing their Irish gimmicks because people and like the stereotype is they're at bars, they get drunk, they fight, they're buddies. That's a stereotypical Irish bar.
Didn't they say that's where they were going
Yeah.
after that?
So they're just really playing into that gimmick. It's nothing to look into further than they're hard hitting Irishmen who drink beer and fight. It's like pirates on when you watch Captain Hook, those pirates are fighting and drinking. It's the same idea.
Mhm.
So they're just really going into that. I'm not sure what their end game is. Obviously, it's going to be a match for probably the title. And like you said, probably at the Royal Rumble. So,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
and I'm cool with it. I like them both together. I think they're funny together. They're obviously hard hitting. So there's nothing
Yep.
wrong with that feud, in my opinion, at all. I like it a lot.
Mhm. I see a feud happening with these two. We all know there's a feud coming, but I did like them two teaming up together. But it's just going to be a build.
I really
With the
feel
feud.
like they need to utilize Sheamus a lot better.
I agree. And I think this might be a step to that.
Yep.
I like Sheamus a lot.
I do
One of
too.
the things with Sheamus and
Uh-oh. I got it. I was over here
sorry.
sneezing. Oh, now I got to quarantine for about 14
Yeah.
days.
Hold on, I
Shoot.
just got a text alert. Mike DeWine just made our curfew
Wait,
7 o'clock.
Who's out that window?
And he's going to pop up pointing. No. Popping up.
But when Raw Underground got canceled, I was kind of disappointed because when they got Riddle and Sheamus and that one guy that's now in NXT, I can't remember his name, but like
Oh.
I felt like they really fit the Underground. I felt like that's why they were brought over to
Sure.
Raw. Like Riddle could fit because he's a UFC fighter. Shayna's there; she's badass. And you had a bunch of people. Sheamus, he easily fit in there.
Oh, yeah.
So you had all these guys, then it went away, and it's kind of like, oh shit. Now what are they doing? So it's cool that Riddle's in a feud with looks like maybe Lashley might be where he's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And that'll be a fantastic
Mhm.
feud. And I'd love to see Riddle. I'd love to see by the end of TLC that Riddle is the United States champion and Big E is the US champion.
awesome.
Or,
And Riddle,
Intercontinental
and
champion.
Riddle has like MMA background, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was in UFC, got thrown out because he smoked too much pot.
Oh, there you go. So
Yeah,
he's
there we
actually
go.
probably like a legit competitor. I mean, obviously it'd be a different weight class in reality,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
but he is believably able to go against another fighter.
He also said today that he'd be willing to get beat in 9 seconds if he faced Goldberg because he knows that's the only way that he can face him, and he knows that's the longest Goldberg can last in a ring.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's what got me over on Riddle initially. It's this shit
He
talking
hates
to
Brock
Goldberg
Lesnar and
Brock
Goldberg.
Lesnar. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
I love
like
that.
cheap shot. He's like, I'll take the L. I just want to get in the ring with him.
Yeah. Just to do it.
And Yvonne's face when this happened.
Whoa.
Chuck, we'll start with you. The Fiend out of nowhere.
That was cool, man. I mean, that was a really cool camera shot. Kramer trickery, obviously. It's not live, so it'd be easy to do that. But wait a minute, is Raw live?
It's live.
How'd they do that then?
All right. Huge ass sweater. Jeans.
He took it
Rip
off.
sweater off.
Yeah.
Here's the mask. Somebody runs up.
Yeah, right. That
That
was
was quick, but it was quick though.
That was very
very
fast.
fast. Because I didn't expect the Fiend to be laying there. You know what I mean? Like when it went out and came back on, I thought Alexa was going to pop out.
Right. That's why
Because I was like, there's no way he can change that quick.
I thought it was gonna be Alexa.
But then I noticed he's wearing like a 7X brown sweater. It's like, okay, red.
That's a good point.
And then he got up and took Orton down.
That's a good point.
That was a great ending to Raw.
I honestly was with you. When the lights went off, honestly thought we were going to see Alexa Bliss in her monster version, like with a mask, like her mask and her new outfit. That's what I was really expecting. But I liked this a lot. I thought it was really fucking awesome. And the fact I was thinking to myself, oh, if they just paused for a minute, then I was like, wait a minute, they were fucking live. So that's not possible. But yeah, I didn't really pay attention to what Ray was wearing. That's a good point. Good call.
All right, tell us how upset you are.
Well, I mean, it's hard because I'm a big fan of Orton, but I like the Fiend too.
No, you stop.
I do like the Fiend.
I asked my
but
parents for a Fiend on the scene for Christmas. She mocked me for 2 days.
I mean, we all know
My dad's like, what do you want? I was like, this Fiend coat. He's like, is there anything you want that doesn't have this dude on it this year? And I was like, no, is that a problem?
Nope.
I mean, I got like most of Randy Orton's shirts, but that's a different story. Anyway, I'm not.
Yeah, that shit's on clearance.
No, whatever. I mean, I was devastated when the claw came, but when the lights went out,
Devastated? That's
She
true.
was.
devastated. I was. I'm
She's
like,
very dramatic.
shut
This
up.
last like 2 weeks, she's been on one.
No, I
And
haven't.
I'm not asking, women problems and shit, but like she's been on one.
No, I
And Randy
haven't.
goes down. She's like, no. And it's like, it's 12 o'clock. We're trying to sleep.
It's
Like,
12 o'clock.
I did.
Dad's got to work the next day. Mom's got to work.
I did.
The dogs are barking. The wolf's down the
It's
street.
fun investing in wrestling.
Mike Duwan is looking in like, what are you doing?
You're having way too much fun at 10 o'clock.
I've been a nervous breakdown. I mean, it was a good ending. When the lights went out, I mean,
That was very clever.
It was.
And the fun house was funny. He's like, let's play a
Yeah.
game, Randy.
I like seeing the
Yeah.
Fiend. What do they call him? The elf on a shelf. The Fiend on
Yeah.
a shelf in the background. You notice that?
Yeah. That's going to be at my house
Yeah, I
on
believe
December
that.
26th.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be sitting right there.
That's awesome.
I'm even buying a little replica title.
There you go. I dig
I
it.
won't. It don't fit. But I might. If I find one,
no,
I
it
will.
don't fit.
Old one.
All right. Does Fiend have to go over in this feud?
Yeah.
Clean or with help from Edge?
It helps fine. I mean,
Okay.
Anything?
I feel like, well, they're fighting at TLC.
Here they are.
I mean, it doesn't matter as long as he wins because he's lost too much.
I want this so bad in the Firefly Funhouse.
Go
Go back. Then they can go back to that
I
house.
don't really care. I mean, they could.
If they can flash back to the one he burnt down.
Maybe,
Hey, Randy, this is where it started.
Yeah.
Maybe like half and half. Maybe like do half of it there and then
Take it to the ring.
take it to the ring. And
They
not-
could easily do that.
and then have like a real match.
have it end in the mat.
Yeah.
Have it end in the ring.
Right.
I'd be down for the triple threat with Edge, and I'd have the Fiend just mindfuck both of them because you can go back,
Yeah.
like you said, the Brood. Hey, remember Edge? You're a family guy now. Remember this? And has like the
Yeah,
live
sure, yeah.
sex with Lita. Like they could really go deep.
I would
They
like
could.
that.
Hey, Randy Orton, remember you're doing this? Shows them like the WWE.com. Randy Orton suspended 90 days. Like they could legit make
could,
it
yeah, they could.
intense.
Mhm.
They could make it the legitimate, most meaningful match at WrestleMania, even if they land The Rock.
That'd be cool, man. I'd be all
And
right
I'm
with that.
saying, even if they land The Rock, this could be the most relevant match. If they let them get creative like they did with him and John. They went after the Bella Twins. They just broke up.
Yeah.
Like, that's a
They did.
sensitive thing for
Mhm.
John Cena.
That's
but
pretty
they
funny.
went there.
That's pretty
They
funny.
did.
They went there for the bearing thing, the Doctor of Thugonomics. They went after.
Deep. Yeah, they
They,
did.
this is such good shit. I mean, they
That was funny.
we talked about this after we watched that.
Yeah.
We never thought Vince would ever let somebody mock him. 'Cause
Acknowledge.
He gets mocked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And I have this. I bought a shirt. It's at home.
Yeah.
I wear it
Well,
sometimes.
Dean Ambrose went to Chris Jericho's podcast talking shit, and Vince McMahon was able to turn that into a money-making thing. Like
Top 5 shirt right away.
Right. It's like that's just crazy how that works out for Vince and smart guys like that. He was nuts. He was an animal.
Ray makes money.
Yeah.
He does.
The only person making more right now is Taker. I mean, he's retired, so
Yeah,
that's
he
to be.
does.
I mean, that's to be.
Yeah, man.
We would think the guy that is retired would be making a lot of. Oh my God, he's gone. Let's buy a bunch of his stuff. Just not Snoop Dogg's version no more because he's a jackass and decided to show.
He's gonna be on Steve.
He also had
Turner's-
Shaq. So let me just.
I don't like that.
That was
They have-
terrible.
Listen,
Yeah.
so they have Sting last night, right?
It was awful.
Now they have Shaq.
I
They
don't care
had
about
Kenny
that.
talking about Impact, and they still didn't pull $1 million.
I remember. I thought they did break $1 million.
990
Oh,
last
that's
night
fine.
or something. NXT did about 7.
I remember when Shaq was on Raw back in 2010.
Yeah, and we thought he was like the Big Show.
And I didn't give a fuck then.
Yeah.
you know,
He
AEW
works
has
for the
Cody,
NBA
so-
on TNT,
Gonna
so
care
I
less,
get it. Snoop
yeah.
Dogg's part of that show. It's like they're really.
I hate celebrity. Like I honestly never got into celebrity shit ever.
Let's end it on
And,
this note. This wasn't even planned, but all right. I'm just going to ask this question: how is it fair that WWE gets shit for bringing back these old guys, but everybody's all super ecstatic that Sting is in AEW?
Well, it's different.
Sting's older than everybody that the
Sting's
WWE
different.
has brought back,
Sting's different.
including Sting. They also brought him back, by the way. So technically, he's another former WWE guy.
Yeah, his WWE run was a joke, but he's a little bit
Well,
different
Seth broke his neck.
in the fact that one, he potentially could still do matches. He's still
They already said he's going to wrestle.
he's still going to be there weekly.
He's going to job to Cody.
Unlike Goldberg, who's going to show up one night for a 5-second thing, get a payday, be gone. Sting's going to be there weekly. So Sting is different than all these celebs.
he's unlimited.
Well, sure, but he's going to be more involved. He'll be sharing a locker room. He'll be with the
Yeah.
guys. He'll be part of the
Mhm.
company. Unlike Goldberg
Him
and even
and-
unlike Lesnar these days.
Him helping Darby Allin will be cool.
And that's
Yeah.
the big
That's
thing.
about
So
it.
so Sting's actually trying to help the company, unlike people like Goldberg and that shit.
But is it fair that they get some criticism for it? Because
Well, you have to
Think
look at it logically.
They
Now,
went
the
Snoop Dogg.
the Shaq thing and that shit.
they're going
That-
so.
I'm all day.
Does it
Fucking
not
shit.
feel like WCW? This
Oh, it
is
does.
exactly what it feels
That's why I
like
don't
to
watch
me.
it. That's why I don't
Like
watch
this
it.
is what they're going so far out on left field.
The celebrity
Snoop.
shit is I agree all day long.
Mike Tyson, like
joke.
Dave went, and the Mike Tyson stuff. He was yawning on screen.
Yeah, I mean that
He
was,
was
He was
yawning
yawning
on
on
the
screen.
show.
that was a joke.
And you know how good their production team is? If a guy's yawning, don't shoot that
Yeah,
guy.
man.
Wait until he's done, then shoot him.
No, I agree that there's definitely some hypocrisy, but I've seen a lot of people comparing Sting and Goldberg, and Sting is a
No,
different.
fuck Goldberg.
different
I'm just
thing.
talking about bringing back old timers in general, not a specific
No, that I
one,
agree with.
because AEW is doing the same
No, I
thing.
agree.
But they get the excuse of we're a new brand.
No.
Well,
Sting, or not Sting,
how
sorry.
long do they have to be around before they're not a new brand?
Mike Tyson, Shaq, and those those celebrities that they're just there for a one-off. That's a joke.
Sick. And they still got Jake the Snake, Arn Anderson,
WCW.
Kelly Bump,
Very
Tully Blanchard,
Yeah. Very WCW like. I agree.
Taz.
Taz is cool. I still like
Taz.
Yeah.
Taz.
Taz, I feel like takes all the spotlight off Brian Cage and Ricky
He
Starks
does.
too.
Yeah,
Like
he does.
he commands the spotlight. Now there's
Yeah,
Brat Kids on there now.
that's fair.
So
I like Taz,
You got
but-
Cody who has a fucking 45-minute entrance.
He did.
You have to like watch the Star Wars opening and then
Dude, that's the thing. With
American Nightmare.
Cody Rhodes, honestly, he's like a kid who just got access and now he's just
Dude,
taking
you
it.
know
You know
what
what I mean?
I think of you every time he comes out. You know why? I always think, I look at my screen, I'm just thinking Chuck would look at this. If you watch AEW, and be like, who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Dude,
and this is me
I'm with
looking
you.
at the TV, not going cross-eyed. Like, because it's like an, the divisional nightmare.
Yeah, that's what
And
it
then here he
does,
comes
yeah.
out in his stupid little suit, his dumbass neck tattoo.
When his
Yeah.
hair
And he's like,
changed different colors every week.
That dude's
I
arrogance
conquered the empire,
Yeah,
which
it's-
has to be. It's just
he has like a
unreal.
30-minute entrance, legit.
he does.
I don't get it. Like, I honestly don't understand what his mindset is or what he's actually thinking.
It's his company. He's a big part of it. So now he's the star that WWE told him he never could be. He's living that out.
He's living off
because
his
he can.
dad's legacy. Yeah, he is. But at the same time, like if I was him, I would legit be trying to take on WWE, not saying I beat WWE and then rehashing WWE things like Mike Tyson from the 90s and Shaq
And Shaq. And Sting.
and all this pop-up stuff. But that's just what I think. I don't fucking know. I'm not in the business. I'm not. Dusty Rhodes wasn't my dad. But I feel like if Dusty Rhodes was my dad, I'd be trying to make my own legacy because I want people comparing me to him.
Right.
That's how I would
I
feel.
compare him to Charlotte.
Yeah,
Same gimmick.
I could agree with that. It's the same comparison.
It's American Dream.
Yep.
It's American Nightmare. It's literally the same status. It's not that much different.
And
Charlotte comes out
to.
to. Comes out to every.
Josh,
the
you
music's
do better than
legitimately
that.
the
Go
same
ahead,
except the woo.
No, I agree with that.
So
she has absolutely.
I don't want to hear it.
She's absolutely ripping off Ric Flair, and Dusty
He
Rhodes or Cody Rhodes is doing the same thing. But Cody Rhodes, I feel like, is more arrogant about it. I don't understand.
He just has that about him. And that's what the rumors was when he was in WWE, which is why a lot of people had heat with him because
He just thinks he's the shit.
and you see it now. This is why I can't get behind. Is he a good promo? Yeah, he is. He makes me give. I watch the stupid shit he says, and I sit there in disdain.
I remember.
Can he wrestle?
I don't know.
Sure.
I'm gonna say that.
But I don't. He makes me not want to watch his product.
I agree.
I tune in. Last night I tuned in to watch MJF and Orange Cassidy.
Yep.
Very disappointed with how that ended, by the way.
It was terrible.
Rusev's running around super kicking people because he's still mad because a month ago he broke his video game.
Miro, that's his name.
Miro.
Miro.
He's wearing shoes. I guess you'd like it. But
Yeah.
he's running around with Versace shirts on
I don't
as
care.
he come out with a Mickey
Kip
Mouse
Sabian
shirt.
was there.
Yeah, he's hanging out with your boy Kip Sabian though.
See, that's very WCW shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't
I
want.
thought you liked Kip Sabian.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And they're
That was that dude with the duck started that. I think.
Yeah, I don't
they're
understand.
feuding with the best
I
friends
never got that
ever.
joke.
Later, you have to Google Kip
They're
Sabian.
feuding
Like,
with the best friends
Do I
ever
even know the
breaking
fuck
their
this guy
video
is?
games. They broke the best
It's
friends
rough,
broke. It's
dude.
terrible.
I'm glad they're doing well. I mean, competition is better, and if they ever push NXT to that point, NXT is going to absolutely destroy them.
Yep.
But they're just buying into their product,
Well,
which we sit here. NXT's good.
It
I don't think
sucks.
they need to change anything.
Because AEW has potential. Like I mean, I'm not going to take that away. They have
No,
a
I mean,
network.
they hit 990K,
They
which
have
is impressive.
people.
They
It's
have
just,
a guy that has a lot of money back in them.
They got to get they're going down the same route
They
WCW
are.
went. And what I mean by that is the arrogance. The arrogance is what killed WCW. It wasn't financial issues. It was fucking arrogance. And then that destroyed the company that led into financial issues and blah, blah, blah. So what AEW needs to do is, you know what? We're not like WCW. Let's do the WWE technique, do our own thing, build our own guys, and just do a good show. Don't try to be like anybody else. Don't try to copy anybody else. Don't try to one up anybody
Well, see,
else.
the impact thing, that's where that comes in. I like it. I
I
can
got
dig
no
that.
problem with that.
I can
yeah.
dig it. I can dig that. And I do agree, even though I mocked it earlier, even though their division's so bad, I don't, even though that, what's that chick's name that wrestled last night? You have to look her up. She's fucking nuts. I will literally tune into
Abaddon?
AEW. Yeah.
Abaddon,
Have
yeah,
you seen her?
Abaddon, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. She's like,
She's-
Bray Wyatt's wife, like sneak
She's
out of the
she
WWE locker
like
room.
crawls,
Like,
like,
first
she
thing I thought
walks
was
on-
like, she needs to join the Fiend.
I
Yeah,
think
That
so.
would be nuts. Like, I need to literally WWE needs to rip off that character and put it on Alexa.
She
Because
like,
at least Alexa would be hot.
Yeah, dude.
But like, there's a few things that I like.
Mhm.
Eddie Edwards versus Kenny. I'd be down for that. Eddie Edwards is
Kenny,
really
yeah.
good. Tommy Dreamer pitched himself on Buzz. It was so funny. He was like the heart of ECW versus the heart of WCW versus the old heart of WWE. Jericho. Bully's like, so you just dream matched yourself against two of the biggest icons in the world of wrestling,
Yes.
and you're Tommy Dreamer. And he's like, absolutely. Who's also on the creative team for Impact.
Nice.
But I can dig that. That's interesting to me.
Mhm.
Right.
And Triple H already came out a week after and said, they asked him at an
It was
NXT
like the
conference
next
call.
day, yeah.
They were like,
Mhm.
would you work with other companies? He goes, oh, yeah, if it makes business sense.
Right.
They've worked with Evolve. That's where a lot of their guys came from.
Sure.
MLW. They have Davey Hart Smith's there. Brian Pillman Jr. is working with AEW right now. So, like, AEW is kind of just letting indie guys come in and out.
I feel like AEW is trying to bring back the territory days.
Yeah, they are. Which failed miserably because the issue is
it didn't
bringing
fail. That's what it was until Vince bought everything.
No, it failed because you have ego. This is not going to work.
Oh, you're saying right now.
Yeah, like this is
Okay,
not this
yeah.
is ego. Do you think Tony Khan? Yes, I understand. Josh, it's storyline. They really don't hate each other. I get it, but they are sitting at a table like this, and they're like, Kenny is not losing to Eddie Edwards. He's winning that Impact title because it doesn't mean shit, and we get 990K, and you're on Twitch. And those discussions do happen. There's going to be arguments. Hey, our women's division's good. Your women's division is always getting mocked on Twitter. Think they don't talk like that to each other? You're going to need Deonna Purrazzo. You're going to need All Our Knockouts. You're going to need the Good Brothers to make your tag. Good Brothers versus Young Bucks. We used to be the Young Bucks interesting. Those
That's
discussions-
impossible.
those discussions will happen. I think
I agree.
inevitably this fails in long term, but I'm invested in it. But the Shaq and Sting,
Sting's cool, but that other shit I can't
Sting's the
handle.
only one I'm cool with. 'Cause
Sting
I
makes
like
sense.
Sting, but I had the Undertaker, so like
Sure. No, I understand what you're saying, but Sting makes sense for AEW.
Sting makes the most sense out of everything they're doing. Now Shaq's going to be there
Yeah.
just to
Yeah, I couldn't care less.
Shaq's going to be there to oversee a face-to-face between this girl named Jane and Cody's wife.
Yeah, that's
what he's there for. And he got water thrown in his face last night.
Because
Oh.
she broke.
Oh no.
The
The
Jade girl broke Brandy's arm last week. So.
See,
Yeah.
it's just that celebrity shit that I
Oh, and
hated
next week,
WWE
a
for.
14-man tag match is happening.
Oh Jesus,
The whole inner circle,
that's gonna be
which is now Jericho, Guevara,
MJF.
Santana.
So it's turned into the fucking NWO in the late
So
90s.
it's 7 versus 7
Yep.
against the best
Yeah.
friends.
That's exactly what the inner circle has become.
Yeah.
It's become the NWO.
And they did this whole 20-minute spiel that was really stupid.
And Jericho.
Oh, and they're still doing this thing. All hands in, boys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and on Impact, where Kenny showed up this week, 3 shots taken at WWE in their promo.
That's annoying.
In a bus.
Wow.
Yeah,
Then, first off, they didn't even show up at Impact. We're going to be live on Impact.
Yeah,
They're in a
yeah.
fucking bus. And they take
Yeah.
3 shot. Josh Matthews, remember him?
I know the guy.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh, why don't you go back to Stanford, you old prick? He said it 3 times.
Wow.
Beginning, middle,
Yeah.
and end. Bully Ray called him out this morning like, dude,
Knock that shit
why?
off.
He's like, once is cool. Do it at the end and end it with that.
Right.
It'd be fun.
Go tell
Right.
your people at Stanford, you old snitch bitch or something. And
But
end
to
it.
keep saying it,
3
now
shots.
you're just like desperate.
Don Callis
Yeah.
is a prick. Everybody says, JR keeps saying, like, this dude's a piece of shit. And I do like the fact that when Kenny interviewed last night, they did call that out.
Mhm.
I want that part to work because in that, but I don't want it to work because I love AEW. I want it to work because that's going to make WWE be like, listen, let's have NXT invade Raw. Let's have NXT. Let's have Raw invade NXT. Let's have MLW invade. There's a lot of other companies out there, right? New Japan, even though they're kind of working with AEW. Let's go get, and I just feel like anything AEW thinks they can do, WWE can do it better if they're pushed to have to.
Just-
Vince is the
yeah.
best when his back's against the wall.
And that's
But
why
his
we
back
all,
hasn't been against the wall.
And that's why we all should want AEW to be successful. That's for that reason.
Well, here's
exactly.
the problem. They're not because they're doing the same shit.
I agree with
That's
that.
my
part.
problem.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's like, oh, you're just a hater. If you have Sting, Shaq, Kenny coming off this epic, like, I'm going to Impact, what happened? You have all these things going for you, plus Orange Cassidy, MJF, which we've said are the only 2 guys they haven't. They're their only 2 homegrown guys they have. That's the main event. That's a great main event.
It was.
You have all this, and you still can't pull $1 million.
No, you can't.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
I don't
Was there
know.
any football games on last night? No.
Yeah.
Was there any big shows on last night? Just NXT.
Well-
NXT did 689.
Well, we had the Working Fans podcast here at the Buzz.
They were over at
last night.
6.
I mean, you had to catch up. You had to watch. I mean,
Let's- Damn it. That's a problem.
You asked it.
Yeah.
That's a
How you get
problem.
an answer?
it's one of those things.
They
like-
should be able to hit $1 million. There wasn't no football. Impact, like you said, had like 800 grand. As shitty as the Cowboys are, sorry, Mom and Dad, the Cowboys are still
Yeah.
a draw. They're the Dallas
pretty
Cowboys.
good.
That game was on at the same time Impact was on. You know what that game got? A 16 rating, which is
Awful.
16 million people.
right. That's just-
Impact got 800K. Impact.
well, they said
on
that,
Twitch.
They said that they had 750 more than usual.
Yeah, so the TV rating was like, they got like 779 on Access, which is really fucking good. They don't do that
I mean,
well.
especially if you're free on Twitch. I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
But-
It's whatever. I don't know, but I do know that they are fucking up. There's a lot of things they do I don't like, and it don't annoys me. But then some things I'm like, that's fun. Like I like Sting. I think that's a good idea. But like
Yeah.
the celebrity shit, I can't stand. The WCW wannabes, I can't stand. The constant knock at WWE has to
they
stop.
have
It has
put
to
a few
split.
shots.
The
Yeah.
territory thing I think could be cool if done right, but I think you're right with your ego stuff. You have a lot of guys thinking they're all the best, and
You're getting all these indie guys in one thing. Just think,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
guys in AEW, they were just indie guys until AEW started.
Sure.
Let's be real. And you have Moxley and Cody, but they all claim we love our indie days. So something's got to give.
we'll see.
And that was the issue with WCW when they tried to work with the ECW, and that never really came to anything back in the day
No.
because our guys are better. No, ours is. And there you go. Which is why Vince, like you said, he owns all of them. He owns
Yeah, man.
all of that.
It's crazy.
I can't wait till the one day I watch AEW Dynamite and the WWE Network.
It might be happening.
RSH episode 609. We're sitting here
I'll be out.
in wheelchairs, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we told you. She's sitting there like
I'm not gonna be alive in the 600.
told you.
It's what you get.
600 episode. It took us 2 years for 100. 10 years, you'd be alive.
Nah, I don't know.
Like 60?
Fuck off.
Yvonne, that's why Yvonne's taking it right now because she actually enjoys AEW.
I mean, I honestly,
Some of that I do.
I haven't watched it enough to really say, but I know the person that I turn it on, I immediately get like, this is fucking silly, and then I turn it.
Yvonne's going to hit us with a championship, I think, at some point.
There you go.
She's going to knock us without hit the end broadcast.
I'm a
button.
true
like it.
wrestling podcaster. I have to watch all this stuff.
She is a professional.
I
podcaster.
try to be. AEW's. I
We're
love
professionals
it one week,
here.
then I don't. We
I
try.
dig it.
We got to watch all the facts.
But all right, fellas and ladies, I think that's a pretty good way to wrap up this episode of regularly scheduled hostilities with RSH. I don't fucking know.
We gotta play that video.
All right.
Marital tomorrow.
Oh,
Preview.
we do have marital nonsense tomorrow night,
You have a
7 p.m. We kind of passed around the idea of fucking stupid ways I've gotten hurt because earlier my wrist started real bad, and it's from a injury playing Guitar Hero in 2009. So we're maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, you got that between the pipes. Archie has some like Canadian model on there.
Yeah,
That's pretty
she's
cool.
looking pretty
I'm
good.
gonna ask her to marry me in the comments.
I like it.
Oh,
I think she'll
geez.
say yes.
But all right, check out the other lineup. We'll come back and say goodbye.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you all know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by a locksmith. On the block, throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look with the top dish. Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, swish. Tell them that's what we ready for.
That's a badass song, isn't it?
That is cool.
I'm ready for war.
I know. I'm
Me
sitting
too.
here
I'm cool
You're
living
ready
in
for
America
war
where
now.
that stuff can happen anytime. And
That's true. Yeah.
Well, lucky for us, we already beat Alex's country and Archie's country is just too afraid to do anything. So
Yeah.
it's just cool.
It's fun.
That's
Right now, we're just battling COVID.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
That's
we're gonna
all
war
right.
that bullshit. All right, I hope you all enjoyed the show. Be sure to follow us on all your social medias, Twitters, the Facebooks. We're not on Instagram, I don't think, as WWE or RSH. But
The
you can-
buzz is.
But you can follow the Buzz at Instagram, which we are affiliated with, a part of all of the good.
We support the buzz's Instagram. We just refuse to have one.
Yeah, man. I have one for paranormal, and I haven't posted anything in like a month and a half.
Like, if you want to see our stuff, just go to our Facebook page.
I accidentally merged it with my Facebook the other day and changed my Facebook profile picture to my personal Facebook picture.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. It's like, what is happening? So I don't
I was
know.
like, he's done got sick of that picture already. He just,
Something
I'm not looking at myself. I put my show.
It's like, what? So I put it back. I don't know what's going on. I'm too fucking dumb. But
That happens.
yeah. Hope you all enjoyed the show. And at the end of the day, you should all go ahead, watch everything in fear regularly scheduled hostilities.